What we have seen in the previous lesson is, let a and b be two scalars we are taking, and u and u dash belongs to u. Because u, we are having the basis e1, e2 and so on to en is the basis of u, capital U. Therefore, any element of u can be written as linear combinations. That because of that reason, we can write u and u dash as linear combinations. U can be written as alpha 1 E1 plus alpha 2 E2 plus and so on plus alpha n En. Same way U dash also can be written as beta 1 E1 plus beta 2 E2 plus and so on plus beta n En. Then we have taken two elements A and B, scalars. Okay, we want to prove T is a linear transformation, right? In order to prove T is a linear transformation, we will take this, then AU plus BU dash. What will be AU plus BU dash? It will be A alpha 1 plus B beta 1. I am taking the E1's coefficient together plus A alpha 2 plus B beta 2 into E2 plus and so on plus A alpha n plus B beta n into En into En, right? Hence, T of AU plus BU dash equal to, because we have defined T in such a manner that T of U equal to alpha 1 V1, alpha 2 V2 and so on. So some scalar times V1 plus scalar times V2 and so on. Same way, A alpha 1 plus B beta 1, these are ultimately scalars, into V1 plus A alpha 2 plus B beta 2 into V2 plus and so on plus A alpha n plus B beta n into Vn. This is how we have defined T of U, right? And this can be written as, A can be taken common out. So A times alpha 1 V1 plus alpha 2 V2 plus and so on plus alpha n Vn plus B times beta 1 V1 plus beta 2 V2 plus and so on plus beta n Vn, right? So what we have trying to do is, we have find T of U. T of U equal to, we have defined some constant times V1 plus constant times V2 plus and so on scalar. Okay, I can tell scalar times V1 plus scalar times V2 and so on to scalar times Vn. And then we have taken A out here and B out here. And this will be equal to A times, and alpha 1 V1, alpha 2 V2 are all nothing but our T of U, plus B times T of U dash. Okay, therefore T of AU plus BU dash, we have proved that A times T of U plus B times T of U dash, T is a mapping, and this particular condition is satisfied. Therefore T is a linear map. Therefore, T is a linear transformation with the property that T of EI equal to VI for every I. So ultimately we proved that T of EI equal to VI for every I, because in the place of any U we can take EI. Okay, and T of U we have defined in such a manner that T of U will be here alpha 1 v1 plus alpha 2 v2 and so on to alpha n vn. So alpha you can take it as 1, so 1 times vi, right? So T of ei is vi for every I. So and it is a linear transformation also. We have proved it is a linear transformation. Just now we have proved it is a linear transformation also. So and we have to prove it is unique. Theorem 1, the previous theorem we have, theorem 1, what we have told is T of u, if at all 2 u's, here we have seen here, SNT or 2 linear transformation from u to v, where dimension of u is n, and even e2 and so on to n are basis of u. Suppose T of ei, S of ei equal to T of ei, then S of u will be T of u for every, that is, it is unique. S of u equal to T of u. Same way, using that property, the uniqueness is also proved. So therefore, by theorem 1, now implies that T is a 1D transformation with the above property. So uniqueness is also proved. Now you go to, so theorem 3 is complete. Now we will go to theorem 4. What is theorem 4? Let u and v be vector spaces over a field F. Let T from u to v be a linear transformation. What is given here is u and v be vector spaces over the field F, and T from u to v be a linear transformation. Then kernel of T is a subspace of u, and range of T, R of T, is a subspace of V. So kernel of T and range of T are subspaces. That is what we are trying to prove. So in order to prove it is a subspace, what we have to do? Two properties should be satisfied. That is scalar. Okay, scalar addition and vector addition. So both can be clubbed together as single. So let x1, x2 belong to kernel of T. Kernel of T is nothing but subset of U, and alpha 1, alpha 2 belong to F. So we are not going to prove vector addition and scalar multiplication separately. Both can be combined together. Now by definition, T of x1 equal to T of x2 equal to 0, because kernel, right? Okay, x1, x2 belong to kernel of T, right? Therefore, T of any element will be 0. Therefore, alpha 1 times T of x1 plus alpha 2 times T of x2 will be nothing but alpha 1 times T of x1 is 0 plus alpha 2 times T of x2 is 0. So ultimately we'll get 0, and we'll mark it as equation 1. Right? Now T of alpha 1 x1 plus alpha 2 x2. T of anything will be 0, right? That is how the kernel is defined. So from 1 and 2, from 1 and 2, what you get is T of alpha 1 x1 plus alpha 2 x2 equal to alpha 1 T of x1 plus alpha 2 T of x2, right? Which implies, since T is a linear map, right? Which implies, which implies, now we have proved, alpha 1 T of x1 plus alpha 2 T of x2 is nothing but alpha 1 times 0 plus alpha 2 times 0. And T of alpha 1 x1 plus alpha 2 x2 also will be equal to 0 because T is a linear map. Because we know T is a linear map, it is given that T from U to V is a linear map. Here it is given. T from U to V is a linear map. Therefore, alpha 1 T of x1 plus alpha 2 T of x2 will be T of alpha 1 x1 plus alpha 2 x2, which is also equal to 0. From 1 and 2, we get that T of alpha 1 x1 plus alpha 2 x2 equal to, this is, it is already linear map. And alpha 1 x2, okay, since T is a linear map, which implies alpha 1 x1 plus alpha 2 x2 is element of kernel of T, because we from equation 2, okay, from 2 what is 2 says T of alpha 1 x1 plus alpha 2 x2 is 0. So alpha 1 x1 plus alpha 2 x2 is element of kernel of T, which implies this is what vector addition and scalar multiplication is defined. That is what we have, that is for subspace. In order to prove kernel of T is a subspace, we have to prove that there exists vector addition and scalar multiplication. That is what we have proved in equation 3. I can name it as equation 3. So equation 3 says that vector addition, scalar multiplication exist. From the property of subspace, we get a kernel of T is a subspace of U, right? Now we have to prove R, range of T is also a subspace. Let y1, y2 is element of range of T, which is a subset of V, and alpha 1, alpha 2 is element of F. Then by definition of range of T, there exists x1, x2 is element of, so this is my definition of range of T, x1, x2 element of U such that, so what is given that y1, y2 we took 2 elements from range of T, so there exists a pre-image, right? There exists a pre-image, x1, x2 is element of V because it is element of the range set, such that T of xi, x1 equal to y1 and T of x2 equal to y2, because y1 is having the pre-image and y2 is having the pre-image. Because why these two are having the pre-image? y1 and y2 belong to range set. Therefore, y1 is having the pre-image and y2 is having the pre-image x2. So, alpha 1 y1 plus alpha 2 y2. What is alpha 1 y1? Alpha y1 can be written as T of x1 plus alpha 2 T of x2, right? And it is given that T is a linear map, so it can be written as T of alpha 1 x1 because T is a linear map and alpha 2 x2. Why? Because T is a linear map. Right? Now we have proved that vector addition and scalar multiplication exist in range of T. Therefore,